Lucha Libre star Silver King, real name Cesar Baron, who you may remember from his appearances in WCW in the late 90s. He was brought in to participate in the Cruiserweight division. He was a part of that. He also wrestled for AAA, CMLL, any really major promotion of any kind down in Mexico. He died in the ring yesterday at the age of 51 while working a match against Juventud Guerrera, another WCW Cruiserweight alum, for the Lucha Libre World promotion. This was not a show in Mexico. This was a show in the UK. This was in London. And this story and the video and everything just brought back bad memories of Misawa's death in the ring in Japan many years ago. Actually, it might have been 10 years ago, actually. I want to say it was 2009 when he died in the ring. And Perro Aguayo Jr., dying in the ring a few years ago. He was a lot younger than Silver King was. But I did see the video that was posted in some places online. I wanted to see for myself what the hell happened here. It's not something I would post a link to or anything like that. And this was really tough to watch because, not just because of what happened, knowing now in hindsight, but this was maybe worse than any of the other things I've seen because so much time went by after it became obvious that something was wrong with this guy. You know, it looked like he suffered a heart attack. I don't know that that's what some people are saying and some outlets are reporting, but I don't know that that is an official diagnosis. It sure looked like this guy may have had a heart attack in the ring. He was clearly having some kind of medical episode, and neither Juventud nor the referee picked up on it. You know, the last move that he hit was a flying clothesline off the ropes on Juventud. Juventud kicked out when Silver King went for the pin. And it was around then that things really became obvious. Okay, something is wrong here. He started acting very strangely. He was on all fours when he tried to get back up to his feet. He couldn't. He didn't have the strength. He was sort of, rocking back and forth. He was trying to get up, but he just couldn't do it. And that's when Juventud delivered a running kick to the chest. He sort of just backed up and hauled off and kicked him in the chest like he was kicking a punt in a football game. And Silver King just fell face flat, and that was the last time that he moved. After that, he did not move a muscle. He was just face down, prone on the mat. Now, Juventud tried to roll him over to make the cover. I think he was talking to the referee and trying maybe to get the referee to just stop the match. The referee, wouldn't. Juventud was trying to roll him over. It was just dead weight at that point. And it just, he started smacking him on the back. And I'm watching this and I'm going, precious seconds are ticking away as this is happening. And, look, at first there's some confusion. You don't know right away necessarily, but look, I'm a fan watching video of this, and it was pretty freaking obvious to me that something was wrong here. So finally, he gets him over onto his back. The referee starts counting. He holds up the count at 2.5 because he probably figures, well, this is not supposed to be the finish. And then finally, he smacks the mat for the 3 count, and they ring the bell and play Juventud's music. And meanwhile, Silver King is laying in the ring, in a bad way. Unconscious, immobile, and just in a bad way. And it was almost a full 2 minutes that went by before Juventud finally got the pin. 2 minutes went by in the meantime. Now, this guy has a mask on, which makes it harder to just look at his face and know for sure if something is wrong. But again, I'm not encouraging people to go seek out the video, but take my word for it. You watch this, and it's obvious that something is wrong. And to make matters worse, as the music is playing, it's another 90 seconds. I counted it out. It's another 90 seconds before anyone even comes into the ring to check on this guy. The referee is standing there. He probably doesn't know his own name, this guy. He didn't seem to know where he was. But it was 90 seconds before anybody else even slid into the ring to check up on Silver King. That's 3.5 minutes gone. Right off the bat, 3.5 minutes. Who knows if that could have made the difference for him between life and death? We just don't know. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered. But that's just a horrible way to go. With nobody realizing what's happening, you're underneath this mask. Lord only knows what he was experiencing. I'm sure it wasn't pleasant, whatever it was. He was clearly struggling. And for so much time to go by like that, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare scenario. Something like that should never, ever happen again. And there were people saying, well, that's Mexico for you. They have unregulated shows in Mexico. It wasn't in Mexico. This was in London. That's what people didn't, a lot of people don't realize. This was not a show held in Mexico. This was held in London. Fans on Twitter who were at the show, one after the other, tweeting out, the response was so slow. I can't believe it took this long for medical personnel to get down there and get into the ring. Slow to respond, slow to respond. Multiple messages like that I saw. They also used the defibrillator, panels on him in the ring to no avail. There should, at the very least, it would seem to me, be referees who are trained to spot this sort of thing, get some basic degree of medical training, and are able to spot things like this and take the appropriate measures. Stop the match, call for the bell, wait for some medical personnel or an ambulance or something. It took another, I think, 20 minutes for an ambulance to even arrive at the building. Now, they did at least cancel the rest of the show. This was not the main event. So the rest of the show was canceled, but just a horrible situation. And 51 is still too young. 51 is still too young for anybody to go, especially like that. But nothing like this. This should be a lesson here for promotions all over the place, not just over there or in Mexico or here in the States, but anywhere. I don't care how big or small the show is. They may not have the financial means to staff it up with doctors at ringside and things of that nature, but you know what? That might not be a bad investment to make. But at the very least, your referee, and this was not some random person. My understanding is this was a fairly experienced referee, should have had the common sense enough to spot that something was wrong and take action and not just stand there like, he's in some kind of strange land and doesn't know where the hell he is. There's just no excuse for that.